Hey guys, Eric here out at the Bethlehem Golf Club. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to get through the ball. I want to give you one macro thing that I'd like you to think about, and then talk about a little bit of the micro in terms of the club movement. So let's dig right in here. How to get through the ball. The first thing and the piece of advice that I would give to every single golfer is to get really good at going from point A to point B. And what I mean by that, especially when you're out playing, is I want you to have a sensation that you go from the top of your backswing, point A, to the finish position, point B, without anything really happening in between. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to just make a swing here, and my concept or thought process is to go from point A, top of backswing, to point B, finish position. So what I want to have a sensation of in that little split second that happens from the top to my finish, and how I really get through the ball, is by focusing on my finish position, by focusing on getting right to that finish and not really trying to control what happens here. Now, when you watch really good players and they do this, point A to point B, there's a couple things to keep in mind. The first thing I would say is where they actually are at their finish. You can control a lot of what happens at and through the ball as a byproduct of getting into a good finish position. Reverse engineer it. So what do we see in really good finish positions? All right, let's go ahead and do one more. You would start to see a lot of commonalities. You would see the weight fully up on the left foot, the left leg extended. Many players rolled on the ankle like I am, left leg extended. Hips are forward, up over the ankle. My belt buckle's a little bit more forward towards the target than my chest. And I have the club wrapped around my neck, right? Those would be some common finish positions. Now, like a lot of things, when you look at a position or anything and you see a lot of the successful people doing the same thing, even if you don't know why they are there or how they got there, but they're all doing those same motions, it's a probably pretty good percentage chance that that's a good thing to do, right? If all of your good players you watch finish the same, we want to be able to try and get to that same position. So part one I'd like you to do is just get really good at getting there, point A to point B. Now, the second concept that I would give you in terms of getting through the ball is I would advise you not really trying to control the speed too much. Meaning, I wouldn't try and add a ton of speed, take a ton of speed off. I'd like for you to feel like I go from A to B just in one fluid motion. It feels like, even though it's not reality, the acceleration stays the same. A to B, not adding or decreasing speed. As I'm doing that same process, I'm also conscious of and aware getting through the ball of my grip pressure staying the same. So I just want to keep things relatively constant. I'm not going to grip it tighter or looser. I'm not going to swing faster or slower. A to B, same grip pressure, same tempo. And the last piece of getting through the ball and getting to your finish position and sort of how you can tell if you're good at it or doing it correctly. Obviously, you can check the body motions we mentioned there. Pick your favorite golfer, get a picture of them at their finish and copy that. But the second point is your ability to hold that finish. And so how I would practice this, as I have that A to B concept, is I'd like to be able to hold that finish for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, club drops, and then to my hip. What I would get used to when you're practicing is that sequence. 3-second hold, club drop, club to hip. Keep the rhythm the same, keep the tempo the same, the grip pressure the same. 1, 2, 3, here, there. How many things might you get for free by simply being able to control that one variable? This is something I know a lot of people are going to look at as, that's too simple or too easy. That won't make a big enough difference. Well, I'm telling you, that's going to make a huge difference. 1, 2, 3. And your ability to be consistent both when you practice on the range and out on the course. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about how you can move the club head, and shaft just a little bit different based on your ball flight to help change where you have the ball going. I want to talk to you today about live view golf. Now, you guys hear me say all the time that you need feedback when you're practicing. You need to know if you're actually doing what you're trying to do, and the best way to give yourself feedback ultimately is video. And not only is video the best way to give yourself feedback, but being able to see yourself simultaneously as you're doing a movement is the best form of video feedback. It's the best way I've seen to make changes in your swing and be able to correlate the differences between your feels and your reels. Live view is super easy to use and set up. Simply set it up behind or in front of you. You connect it with your iPad or phone, pop that on the ground. You can actually do your practice, see yourself as you're doing it, the best way to expedite your process. I encourage you guys to check out Live View Golf. We'll put a link in the description down below with a coupon code. Okay, so in terms of your ball flight, a couple things. I want to keep this simple today. I have an alignment rod here in line with the golf ball and the target. And you could just use a golf club or alignment rod for this. And I want to reference this alignment rod and where my club is at and club head per my ball flight. So let me give you a couple examples. If you're someone who hits pulls to the left or fades to the right, but in particular pulls to the left, I can change a lot of that by just changing my intention of where the club goes past impact. Similar to how I said to you, how do I get through the ball? Well, I get through the ball by focusing on my finish, and I let the in-between things be a byproduct. The same is true with club path. By me trying to get the club somewhere relative to this line in front, I can change what my brain does to get that club to the golf ball. So let's say I'm someone who hits pulls, right? And my club path goes too far to the left. What I would want you to feel as you're getting through the ball is, from your perspective, I want you to feel like the club head gets to the right of this ball target line. So it's actually to the right of that in the follow through. So if I'm hitting the pulls, I'm still going to focus on point A to point B, but I want to get the club head traveling a little bit to the right of that stick on the ground. And now what that's going to help me do is move me a little bit more towards a push draw pattern. The ball starting a little more to the right and curving back. So if you're a puller, you want to go to the right of it. Now, if you're someone who fades the ball to the right, you still want to get the club head to the right of this, but now you want to pay a little bit more attention to the club face, actually feeling like the toe gets a little bit in front of the heel, or even the toe a little bit to the left of the heel. So club right of the stick, and I'm telling you, put this down when you practice, club right of the stick, toes a little bit left of the heel. So focus on getting to that full finish, but just get that club head to the right of the stick, toe left of the heel. All of the other pieces are going to remain the same. Now, if you come from the opposite side, right, because there's kind of four main ball flights, if you're someone who hits pushes to the right, you're going to feel as you go from A to B like the club head's going to be a little bit more left of that line. Club head a little more left of that line. Go from point A to point B, hold for 3 seconds. And that's going to really help those of you who struggle with the ball starting too far to the right. And the last ball flight is if you're someone who hits a hook or draw. If you want to take a hook or draw off, you're going to feel the same thing, club head more left of that line, but now you want to feel like the toe stays a little bit more to the right than the heel. So if you want to take some of the draw off, hit a little more fade, same thing, point A to point B, club head more to the left, toe right of heel. And that's going to help the ball fade a little bit more, or at least draw a little bit less. So keep it simple in terms of how to get through the ball. Get through the ball by getting to a good finish position, and then just make subtle tweaks of where your club is at relative to the ball target line to change your ball flight. You can change both the path by where the club head moves and the face by where the toe is relative to the heel, and change your ball flight. So that's really a simple look at how you get through the ball. I would keep those sort of simple feels with you as you're in season out on the golf course playing. Now, if you want help with your swing, have a little bit more mechanical look, I would check out cogornogolf.com. You can send your videos in there. We can help there. I'm going to put a card on the screen if you like this video, similar style video. If you have any questions at all, leave a comment down below. Check out Cogorno Golf if you'd like to have your swing analyzed.